The alien princess hadn't eaten in weeks, until she smelled the human mechanic's mother's recipe. Princess Kael'thra had been stranded on the human colony for 37 days. Her crystalline exoskeleton had begun to dull, her energy reserves depleting at an alarming rate. The medical pod in her crashed vessel showed the same grim projection. She had perhaps 4 days remaining before her biological systems would shut down permanently. She wandered the industrial sector of the colony, keeping to the shadows between warehouses and cargo containers. Humans fascinated and terrified her in equal measure. Their soft, fragile bodies seemed impossible to house consciousness, yet their minds burned with fierce intelligence. She had been trained to observe them, to study their ways, but never to make contact. Such protocol violations could trigger a war that would consume both their species. The scent found her near the maintenance bay, weaving through the recycled air like a living thing. She stopped, her sensory membranes flaring open. It was food, but not the synthetic nutrient paste that had sustained her people for generations. This was something else entirely, something ancient and alive. Kael'thra followed the aroma through a partially open doorway. Inside, she found a human hunched beneath a massive engine block, tools scattered around him. His name tag read Marcus. He was sweating profusely as he worked, cursing under his breath about a damaged coolant line. But it wasn't the human who held her attention. It was the metal container sitting on a workbench, steam still rising from its contents. She had learned enough about human biology to recognize the danger of approaching. But hunger, deep, primal hunger, overrode caution. Her protective membranes shielded her alien features as she drifted closer to the bench, her movements silent as vacuum. The scent intensified. It was a mixture of roasted vegetables, herbs she couldn't identify, and something rich and tender that made her molecular structure vibrate with need. Kael'thra extended a tendril toward the container. "Hey, don't touch that." She froze. Marcus had spotted her. The human scrambled backward, reaching for something on his belt. A weapon, perhaps. Her hand retreated, but she didn't flee. She couldn't. The hunger was too profound now. Marcus stared at her for a long moment, his primitive eyes widening in shock. You're not human." Kael'thra said nothing. Her universal translator was damaged, and besides, what was there to say? She would be captured, imprisoned, or executed within the hour. But Marcus didn't call security. Instead, he slowly reached toward the container and lifted its lid higher. Are you hungry?" She couldn't answer, but something in her stillness must have communicated the truth. Marcus carefully picked up a utensil, a spoon, she observed, and extracted a portion of the material. It was a thick stew, golden brown, filled with chunks of what appeared to be plant matter and something protein-based. "My mother taught me to cook this," Marcus said softly, almost to himself. "Family recipe, passed down 4 generations. I was just thinking about her, missing home, when I made it this morning." He extended the spoon toward Kael'thra. "I don't know what you are or why you're here, but, well, nobody should go hungry." Kael'thra's membranes trembled. This was a transgression. Contact with humans was forbidden. Accepting food from one was unthinkable. Yet her dying cells screamed their need. She accepted the spoon. The flavor exploded across her sensory receptors, a symphony of tastes her people's synthesized foods had never approached. Warmth spread through her structure, and with it, energy. Real, vital energy. Tears of bioluminescent fluid gathered at her optical centers. "More?" Marcus asked. She nodded slightly. For 2 hours, they remained in the maintenance bay, an illegal alien and a human mechanic. Marcus told her about his mother, about Earth, about growing things in soil, and preparing food with care and love. Kael'thra ate, and with each spoonful, felt her life force returning. When her vessel's emergency repairs were finally complete, and she could leave the colony, she did so with something her people had thought lost forever. Hope. Not just for her survival, but for the possibility that perhaps, just perhaps, 2 species didn't have to be enemies. She left Marcus a gift, schematics for technology that could revolutionize human medicine, and a message in his language. "Thank you. Your mother's love traveled farther than she ever knew."